Hey there, brother and sisters. Vessel of Truth here. Jay from Virginia for the new people. And I wanted to do a video. This is totally unplanned. um, I actually just finished watching a video from one of my good friends and brothers, Zach Bauer. And basically his video was covering the moral depravity of where we, the human race, is at. And it defies description, you know? You think things are crazy, but then you hear something that makes you even doubt that could even be true, but yet it's the truth. And just goes to show you that we as the human race is totally in the upside down, but basically already jumped off a cliff. There is no moral compass anymore for most people. And that goes for a lot of these people that are considering themselves children of Yahuah. And the truth is the truth. You can call yourself whatever you want, but if you are not walking according to the commandments of Yahuah, you're using his name in vain. If you're not acting like his child, doing what his children do, thinking what they think, seeing things the way he sees them, you're fooling yourself and you're lying to everybody else too. And there's a lot of that going on. As everybody knows, one of my favorite books is 1 John. 1 John chapter 3 verse 4 tells us, the definition of sin. And that is in the New Testament. Matter of fact, for those who's not familiar with it, since I'm just right here, we can go over to it. Verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. So no matter what law that you're breaking of the fathers, even if you say that don't apply, you're still breaking it. Because sin is still sin. Whatever the Father labeled as sin from the very get-go is still sin today. I don't care if you're sitting here watching this video, listening to this video, eating a pork sandwich. It's sin. I don't care if you're sitting here, and just got done looking at porn. It's still sin. Morals are very, very hard to find anymore. And it's like, because the world in the grand scheme has got so evil that whenever we see, a person doing something that would be a huge abomination, we don't think anything of it because look at the world. You know, the point is we have been desensitized to total moral depravity. You know, when I was a kid, back when, TV was just coming out and so on and so forth, television shows, it was taboo to even show a toilet in movies, or to have, a family with kids show that, there was only one bed for mom and dad. I mean, common decency, And now, which, I don't watch movies and all that stuff anymore anyway, but if you don't have X percentage of, cuss words in a movie with, nude scenes and, gay and lesbian scenes or whatever in it, it's not going to make the box office, because that's what everybody wants to see. So they say. When the fact of the matter is, that's the agenda they're pushing. Pushing everybody to the point to where no matter what they show, it's not going to shock nobody and it's not going to bother them because it's not my problem. But the fact of the matter, it is all of our problems. We are our brother's keeper, and, back when I was a child, the church actually stood up to the government, to state. They actually fought for what was right. But what happened? The 501c3 entity was invented. Government gave them tax breaks. And now it's all about the mighty dollar, because no longer are these places of worship, they're places of business. Huge amounts of revenue a year. Billions upon billions of dollars. Fat cat preacher teachers with their $1 million homes, plural. Private airports, private jets, private helicopters. You name it, they got it. But yet, their congregation ain't got a pot to pee in. And I'm here to tell you, if that is what kind of holiness you have, it's going to be hot where you end up. We, the children of Yahuah, the watchmen on the wall, where are we? Where are the people, crying and travailing for the sin and the depravity and the total godlessness of society? Men believing they're women. Women believing that they're men. Men can have periods now. Men get pregnant and have kids now. And all the while, the children are the ones paying the price because they're born into total screwed up mess. And we wonder why, children have got problems. Shooting themselves, killing themselves. I'm not being mean, but, somebody's got to say this stuff. And yeah, this video probably get took down. I imagine so. But, I've had enough. I don't want to be quiet about it no more. I have got to unload sooner or later. And, it's that thought right there that made me come to this video. Because here I am, just a speck of dust on this speck of dust that the Father created. And here I am saying I'm fed up with this garbage. I'm fed up with the sin. I'm fed up with the godlessness. I'm tired. And the Holy Spirit brought to my mind, if I'm this fed up and I'm this angry, where do you think the Father's at? What do you think the Father feels when he sees everything? Even that which is going on behind closed doors or in secret. There's nothing hid from him. And here I am just fed up with the things that I'm hearing and seeing with my own eyes. All the while, these four-wall indoctrination centers keep going on and saying, the law has passed away, the law has passed away, the law has passed away. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. But yet, when you pin them down and ask, well, why can't we murder people? Well, it's against the law. Well, what? The law of the land? What's it? And they'll say, yeah, but it's also against the Father's law. What's that? Whoa, I thought you said that the law passed away. And that's when they come out with this brilliant bullcrap story of, oh, there's different types of law. There's priestly law, there's moral law. No. You'll never see a difference of the Father's law in Scripture. Law is law. That's why it's all lumped together. All 613, they're all put together. They don't all apply to each and every person, but it's all the law of Yahuah. Man and his wisdom. No wonder the Father says the wisdom of this world is foolishness with him. It's the truth. We think we're so smart. We come up with all these nifty, tricky ways of, making excuses for not obeying the law of the Father. And that's all fine and dandy, if that's what you want to be, then 'tis your life. But the fact of the matter is, you're still in sin. And we don't want to tell nobody that they're in sin because it might hurt their feelings. The Father, he didn't worry about hurting feelings in the Old Testament. Neither did Christ in the New Testament. Spoke in love. And the truth hurts. It reveals sin, darkness, bad choices, total screw-ups. But you know what? Until you admit it and correct the problem, you're going to remain in death. Your future, the Word tells you the future. If you're not in the Father, then you're in the devil and you'll burn. We think we're so smart. Everybody agrees that from the day that we are born, doesn't matter how young, old, whatever you are right now, the fact of the matter is if the Father tarries, we will all die. And it's what you've done here in this now godless realm that we live in. So many people claim to be a child of Yahuah, but yet they don't walk it. They don't talk it. They just say it whenever it's convenient. Because, hey, we don't want to rub nobody the wrong way. They're a devout believer at home behind closed doors. But when it comes to being out in society, they're just one of the guys or one of the gals or one of the heathens, whatever. And this is all common sense, but it needs to be shouted from the housetop, the rooftop, everywhere. People can't even understand that Christ isn't a sin sacrifice. A sin sacrifice, think about it. A sin sacrifice in the Old Testament. People would sin and blow it, and ever so often they had to go and give a sin sacrifice for their sins. Well, Christ came. His main purpose was to redeem the northern kingdom that was divorced by the Father. Hence the reason he said, I have come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He didn't say for Judah. He said the lost sheep of Israel. The 10 tribes that was dispersed throughout all of this realm and become the nations. He come for them. Those who were divorced, had no hope of salvation. And he come as a Passover lamb. A Passover lamb is a replacement for you. He can replace you one time. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of hateful mail on this, but I don't care. The truth is the truth. Yeshua, the Son of the living Elohim, our Father, can replace you one time. So if you are a sinner and you become a child of Yahuah, a true convert, and turn from the Father to the point where he lets go of you, you are damned forever. There's no more sacrifice left for you. Because Christ was not a sin sacrifice, but a Passover lamb, a replacement for you. He took your place. He took the judgment that you rightfully were to get upon himself one time. He can replace you once. But no, the church says, oh, the blood of Christ will just keep washing you and washing you and washing you. Therefore, you can live like the devil and there are no consequences. And that's a lie. So, I'm going to show you what I'm saying is truth. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 10. Where do I want to start? Go ahead and start in verse 26. It says, for if we sin willfully, in other words, you know that if you do this or this or this or that, it's sin. And you go ahead and you do it. It's like, go to the fridge and you see that someone brought pork into the house. You got big old lunch meat ham, and you know you shouldn't eat ham because it's a sin, and you do it anyway. What does the word say? For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, in other words, we know that this is sin, we shouldn't do it, there remaineth no more sacrifice for sin. but a certain fearful looking for of judgment and fiery indignation, which shall devour the adversaries. In other words, you're going to burn in hell on Judgment Day. He that despises Moses' law died without mercy under 2 or 3 witnesses. Of how much sorer punishment, suppose ye, shall he be thought worthy, who hath trodden under foot the Son of Yahuah, and hath counted the sanctified and unholy thing, and hath done despite unto the Spirit of grace. For we know him that has said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, I will repay, saith Yahuah. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Elohim. There's no fear. There is no one anymore working out their salvation with fear and trembling because they don't believe it. They have been so conditioned to believe that there's no consequences. Oh, I believe, therefore it's paid for. No, it doesn't work that way. Faith without works is dead. There's not a person anywhere that's saved without works. Noah, was it his belief that saved him, or was it his works through faith that saved him, i.e. building the ark? He was commanded to build the ark. He could have just, I believe I'll be saved because, and he'd be dead. How about Lot? How about all the Israelites? Belief didn't save no one, but faith and works did. But yet we've got this watered down message. Love, 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 love. The fact of the matter is you can't have love without discipline. Free love leads to anarchy and sin and death, disease. Brothers and sisters, we as the watchmen on the wall have got to speak up and let the voice of Yahuah be heard. The word needs to be spoke in the highways, the byways, the bars, everywhere. You know, we don't go out looking to bring people in. We got to go out to where they are, because they sure as heck ain't going to come to us willingly. I know for a fact when I was a heathen, I wasn't going to darken the door of any church. If they wanted me, they had to come find me. And I knew better. See, the problem is the church don't want people going out to the highways and byways, because that would show them how powerless, weak, and pathetic they are. They can't pray a flea off a dog's butt. You figure when Christ sent out the disciples, they went about healing all that was sick and afflicted and casting out all devils. And then he did it again. He sent out 70. And they did the same thing. And after the death, burial, and resurrection and ascension of Christ, it kept on going. What changed? Because even after the original apostles which were disciples, which became apostles, died. It kept on going. All the way up into the early days of the early church. And then what happened? Sin crept in. The Catholic Church rules started taking over, changing the things and the laws of the precepts of the Father, changing the law into man's law and tradition. No longer was there any holiness or set apartness, no peculiarity of it. It became a business, a way of getting wealthy without really having to work. And now here we are. Got away from doing things the way the Father said to do them, and here we are in a world of filth. And yep, I'm sure this probably angering a bunch of people, but I'm tired of watering things down or trying to, not hurt people's feelings. I'm after the people that's saying that, oh, the church world's just fine and dandy. They're lying. People going to hell. And they're not being held accountable. Millions upon millions of dollars coming into the four-wall church indoctrination centers into certain sects. Where's the money going? Because it sure as hell ain't going to help people. People still going to hell. People still hungry. People are still devastated. It's time we, the true children of the Father, stand up and say, it's enough. And go forth and show with signs and wonders that the Father still has power. We don't need no doctors. We don't need no pharmakia medicine. The children of Israel in the wilderness went 40 years. Never a sickness, never a sniffle. Their clothes didn't wear out. The shoes didn't wear out. Nothing was wrong with them. They were totally preserved. And I still serve Him. He has not changed. We did. I don't know where you all stand. I know where some of you do. But I'm calling out to the so-called silent majority. Where you all at? Where do you stand? How do you see things? Is it just me? Am I, making mountains out of molehills, or am I right on track? I'm not being mean. I feel that boldness and that righteous anger. The devil has had a free pass for years. Tormenting people. Making people sick. Killing people left and right. What do people do? They make up names for the new ways the enemy comes up with killing people. It's funny, when I was a kid, most of this crap that's killing people nowadays didn't even exist. Amazing how times change, huh? The same Father that healed, still on the throne today. Those who know me know I am a perfect example. I walk in health. I will not be sick. I refuse it. I rebuke it. I bind it. And I will not die sick. I'll die healthy. It's just my time's up. I'll be like Moses. I'll go over and just lay down and not get up. Just pass on. There's work to be done, my brothers and sisters. If you've got a mouth, then you can speak. We can all, at any time or another, be a teacher or a preacher or an evangelist. They are the gifts of the Spirit. And the Father will give it to us liberally, whenever needed. But you've got to walk in spirit and in truth. You got to pay the price and be a child of the Father. You can't live like the devil and still think that you're going to have the power of God. It ain't going to happen. You got to set yourself apart. Forsake the world, the flesh, the devil. Purify yourself. Spend time alone with the Father, laying prostrate, crying out to Him for help, for an anointing, for your brothers, your sisters is dying and going to hell. Question is, do you care? Do you care? Proof's in the pudding. You know, we're not men of war. This is not our world. But we have got to prepare our brothers and sisters for the world to come, or they will not make it. And for every one that you allow to pass by, you will account for. For we are the watchmen on the wall. We are our brother's keeper. Go, read the word. It says, you know, all those you tell the law to abide by the law and call them out on their sin. It's on them from that time forward. You have saved your soul. But the ones who have heard the truth and deny it, well, they'll be judged and pay that price. But we delivered ourselves because we told them. The harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. Just as the Father and the Son said. Pray unto the Lord of the harvest that He would send laborers. Will you be a laborer? Will you go out to the highways and byways? Do you trust and believe the Father enough to where that He can protect you and keep you? Or are you afraid? See, perfect love casts out all fear. I have no fear. I have no fear of man. All he can do is kill me and set me free. Please hear me. And I pray, please think about what I said. The Father is calling us back to holiness, my brothers and sisters. If you won't come back to holiness, you'll be left behind. You'll be, just as I said in the video of the 10 virgins, you'll be the ones that were shut out. Because if you won't purify yourself, the Father will purify you. And that is painful. I'm leaving it at that. I don't know how long this video will stay up anyway. But I love you all. I'm praying for you all. I pray that the Spirit of Yahuah takes and uses this to encourage people and to light a fire in people. We've got to be the light in this dark world. It's getting darker and darker every day. Please let your light shine. And don't just keep your light for yourself. Help your brothers and sisters. I thank you for your prayers, and I thank you for being a part. And as always, keep seeking the face of the Father, praying, travailing over the sin of the realm, and continue to just help your brothers and sisters out. Armor up daily with the full armor of Yahuah. I love you all, and until the next time, Yahuah bless you, and I pray you have a good Sabbath.